Hello team, Scott here with this week's edition of the High Net Worth Property Podcast, where I will bring you some showcase properties, second homes, property investments and property-based businesses. Now, I am very excited by this one, guys. I love this. You may think, well, it looks unremarkable in every way. Why would Scott be excited about this? It's in Scarborough. It's 1.2 million. It's only got 8 bedrooms. But actually, when we look a little bit deeper, this has some really, really fun potential to it. So it turns out, we'll have a little look at the picture here quickly. It doesn't look that inspiring. 8 bedrooms. It's not a fair amount of bedrooms, but it turns out it's 7 different independent cottages here. So that starts to become interesting. Isn't one property with 8 bedrooms? I've just randomly put 8 on, but we've got 7 different cottages here in that development with the garage, with the courtyard. And that starts becoming really, really interesting to me. So let's have a quick look at the photos and then we'll show you where Scarborough is. So this little plot here, I think there's lots that could be done with that. So buildings are nice enough from the outside, but we could get some nice signage, some lights, tap that up a bit, some outhouses, some things we could do with that. Love the courtyard. I think we've got a picture. So that, again, have that enclosed. Kids could run about, dogs could run about, people coming. We could rent that all as one big space. So we could have 7 all on one listing to make that a big super listing. We could rent them individually. We could do corporate retreats. We could do so many different things there. Now, this seems to me to just have been renovated quickly for sale. So new carpets, freshly. I would look and think, has this just been tarted up? There's one there with some nice original features by the looks of it. So with this, excuse me, it looks as if it's reasonably newly developed. What's been happening here? I want to have a little look into the property and find out why that is like it is, again, in the country. Beautiful. So I think is kind of grey as that looks and boring. I think we can do some amazing things with that. So let's have a little look. Investment opportunity portfolio. Been sold by auction, so I would look some sold by modern auction. Why is that? Again, any investor wants to be saying, why is that being sold at auction? Secondly, forget the guide price. They're all fucking nonsense to pull you in. It's all just made up nonsense. So it was going to be a lot more than that, as you would expect for 7 individual properties. It makes sense as to why it is being marketed like that as at auction. So why wouldn't somebody sell that in the open market and get the best price? Why would it go to auction to get a quick sale, essentially? So that would always raise alarm bells with me. It doesn't always mean a negative thing, but certainly anybody looking, why would you go to auction when you could probably do another method of sale more beneficial to getting a better price? So they're nice property. Let's see where Scarborough is. Some of these, we need to start looking at EPCs. You might just never be allowed to rent anything as an EPC with a rating of E and then D and then C, and unless it's fucking an A, you won't be able to rent it. So you do need to watch the absolute stupidity of the government and their towing the line with the World Economic Forum and all the rules they put on them. By the way, guys, these EPC ratings are not our governments. They're taking guidance from the World Economic Forum, etc. It's not our government coming up with these crazy energy efficiency measures. They're simply doing what their masters tell them. And if you genuinely believe it's the government making these things up and they're not ruled by anybody else, then again, I would welcome a debate on that. So things to worry about auction, you do need to pay the money up front. So there's 4.2% of the purchase price. So different things in auction, different buying methods. Let's have a look where this is in relation to Scarborough. So relatively near. Let's see, for those of you from overseas, this is the East Coast, so Whitby and Filey. Whitby and Filey are great holiday home areas, some of the 2 best ones in the UK, always busy. So I suspect Scarborough, even though it's not on the coast, that would be a nice area. So I love this one, even just as a case study. I think, let's say that went for 1.5 million quid. could we really spend some time insides of that, get that looking great, get some signage up. I got a little gate there, nice lights. You should get I can imagine the photos in my head of what we'd be able to get with that. So I like that. Some signs here, lots you could do with that, and I think that would make, assuming the price is right, assuming there's no skeletons in the cupboard, I think that would make a nice, interesting property investment business.